Good afternoon, everyone. Our credibility determines our profitability. And I'm going to make a case for this for young business students. In fact, I'm going to argue and say that the purpose of business is not profitability. It is to make wonderful products and services. It is to be gainfully employed, and of course, to serve the customers. When we do these three things, what happens is our credit worthiness goes up, and therefore, profitability becomes an byproduct which never escapes you. Profit will follow credibility. Everything around that is a wrong thing. It's like putting the cart before the horse. And I say that with a lot of conviction, because I grew a business of my own and eventually sold it to a multinational headquartered in Sweden and listed on NASDAQ. And I was a relatively small company for it, much smaller. I would not even hit the radar under normal circumstances. So let us understand one thing, that wherever you are on the timeline in terms of your product development or your brand expansion, and wherever is your customer on the food chain, at that point, the customer is going to demand three things from you: lowest cost, highest quality, and fastest delivery. And this makes business extremely artful. Business is not a formula, it's an art. And at the center of the art are the three main pillars, or three variables I would call them. One, of course, the people who make up the business, which is the employees and the vendors, with you as an owner on the top. The other is the kind of products and services that you offer, and to state the obvious, the customer. So let's look at the first variable. Imagine yourself at the top running a mafia. You have various departments, robbing banks, another department, snatching chains, third department who's a pickpocketing. And when you send your guys out, and imagine that your guys go and rob a bank, do you think that they are ever going to report the amount of money that they got? Are they going to give you the correct number? Would you feel safe even in your own company? Gosh, you'll be walking in your own company with a hand on your back pocket, thinking somebody might steal it. Isn't it? What you want to establish is integrity. You want to build a force which is motivated, united block, so that they can able to give the products and services that's desired by your customer. So let's look at products and services. If you are in the business of cutting corners, and let's say another example I give you, is that you are running a restaurant and you make the best soup. And the customer has just tried your soup and says, wow. And before he or she goes for the next spoonful, notices a cockroach in the corner. What's going to happen? Soup that they just appreciated is suddenly going to be very distasteful. They're going to imagine that the cousin brother of that cockroach is perhaps in the soup. They're going to walk away. You understand where I'm coming from? If you do, say aye. Thank you. The third is, of course, the customer. And the customer by nature always has his guard up. They are trained not to hear you, but they are trained to listen to what you are not saying. And they are looking for your attitude. They are here to perceive you. That's how they are trained, because they have multiple choices from where to buy. Now let's see, I'll give you a very different kind of an example to prove my point. Whatever you do, products or service, it is a possibility. Inevitably, you will sometimes stumble and maybe there is a defect in the product. And at that time, when your customer calls you with a problem, how are you going to respond? If you have been in the business of cheating, if you did not have built this credibility, integrity, what's going to happen? You're going to load your answers with excuses even before you've been asked the questions. It's going to come through. Your subconscious will be there in the say. In fact, if you're a true, genuine businessman with full integrity and credibility, you are not only there to fix the problem, but to learn, to engage, to understand, so that that never happens again. You will build a chemistry with the customer, and the customer will be so impressed with the service you've given them, the response time, they would recommend to others. At this point, I hope I made my points clear, but anyways, at this point, what would you like to ask? Anyone? Does anyone have a question?
How do you inculcate all those qualities that you just said within your people? How do you do it?
So with you being at the helm of the thing, or helm of the organization, essentially you are the guy who sets the tone, the culture in the company. And therefore at every moment of time, you have to be very alert. You're trying to influence, you're trying to motivate, you're trying to enable, and you're trying to empower as you go along. And try to again start all over again to build a bigger and bigger team, because the line of sight keeps on becoming further and further. You have to influence, motivate, enable, and empower. And you have to keep doing this again and again. So it's a very tough job. It's like a candle. You burn bright, but you do become short. Lots of energy is generated. And it is a tiring job. Keep the consistency high there. In conclusion, then what is the role of money? Well, ladies and gentlemen, money is not the economy. Money is just the blood in the veins. Okay? It's a lubrication. It is not the heart of the matter. And I would like to end my quote by saying, quoting Nani Palkiwala, that a single-minded focus on profits and money impoverishes your mind, shrivels your imagination, and desiccates your heart. If you consistently maintain your credibility, profits will chase you. The guys around you will work with blood, sweat, and tears.
Hey.
That's my case.
Hey. Man.